Jamar Chase, he's got it. Chase to the end zone. That's a Bengal touchdown.
96 with the touchdown. He's going to run away with the Triple Crown tomorrow.
I think Jamar Chase is a stud. I had no idea. I knew he was good to be one of the top 3 receivers in NFL history.
Only 5 players in NFL history have won the receiving Triple Crown, but none of them did it the way Jamar Chase did in 2024. What makes Chase's accomplishment so incredible is that he only logged 5 games with over 100 yards the entire regular season and still averaged 100.5 yards per game. That's mental. Now it's 2025 and the question isn't whether Chase is coming into the season as the best pass catcher in the game, it's whether anyone can take the crown from him.
Jamar Chase, just an unbelievable talent.
He's great at the catch point.
Marr Chase hauls it in. That's all you got me, Zach.
What Jamar Chase did in 2024 was legendary. He hauled in 127 catches for 1,708 yards and 17 touchdowns, and nobody else was even close. But the craziest thing about Chase's year wasn't where he finished, but how he got there. Like his Bengals, Chase kicked off 2024 about as unimpressively as it gets. During the team's 1-3 start, Jamar Chase's numbers were pedestrian at best. 62 in the opener, 35 in week 2, and 85 in week 4. His only 100-yard game was in a week 3 loss to Washington. In week 5 against Baltimore's vaunted defense, Chase finally went off, hauling in 10 catches for 193 yards and 2 scores.
Jamar Chase touchdown.
It was a warning shot that was inexplicably followed up with 4 more weeks of mediocrity, during which he averaged 48 yards and a half a touchdown per game. At that point, no one was talking about the Triple Crown. They were asking if Uno had lost something. Then came week 10, a Thursday night football matchup against the Ravens again. This time, Chase exploded for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Trying to chase him down, and they cannot touchdown.
It was the most receiving yards in a single game all year, and Jamar's second career 260-plus yard game, making him the only player in NFL history to do that.
He can do pretty much everything out there, man. He's one of the best receivers in the league for sure.
And I said, hey, you're going to be the greatest receiver to ever do this. And I sat here and told you that between me and you. Don't ever let nobody tell you nothing different, bro. Go get you a ring, bring that back home, and handle business.
That night, he dragged Baltimore's secondary across state lines and left the stadium with their pride in his sock. A month later, he cooked Dallas for 14 catches, 177 yards, and 2 more scores.
Sideline, Chase, spin, there he goes, Jamar Chase, not catching him. Touchdown Bengals.
You that boy, you hear me? You that boy, I swear to God, and don't let nobody tell you different.
It was a case of arson where Chase caught everything that came at him and moved the chain so often the refs should have just given him the down marker. But it didn't stop there. Uno caught at least 5 passes in 15 games, had touchdowns in 10 different weeks, and had 4 games with multiple scores.
That's Chase, and what a start for Cincinnati.
And in the biggest moments, he got bigger, faster, and more violent at the point of contact. The season didn't end the way the Bengals would have liked, but when the dust settled, no other receiver had the catches, the yards, or the touchdowns to keep Chase from taking the crown, and he made it look as easy as hitting the like and subscribe buttons after this video. Some receivers are smooth, some are strong, and some are fast. Jamar Chase is all 3, fused into one relentless breakaway machine, but even that undersells what he does on a football field.
Wide open is Chase, and he splits the defenders for the touchdown.
So what is he then? What sets Chase so far apart from the field? Well, it's easy. Out on the gridiron, Chase is a bully, pure and simple.
He's dynamic, bro.
Jamar Chase on the back line of the end zone.
What else do you call a guy who runs a 4-3 and trucks corners like they're made of styrofoam? A guy who routinely fights through jams, dusts bracket coverage, and still finds time to point at the scoreboard to remind you how much better than you he is. Chase doesn't need separation because he wins at the catch point, and he doesn't rely on the line to keep the pocket clean because he bails out his quarterback as well as anyone. And once the ball's in his hands, good luck, Chuck, because Chase led the NFL in yak among perimeter wideouts and forced more missed tackles than any non-running back.
I gotta get some yard.
His footwork at the top of routes freezes corners, and his strength after the catch turns 5-yard hitches into house calls. And if you double him, that's fine. He'll post 10 for 150 anyway and take your DB's souls in the process. But what truly makes playing against Jamar Chase unfair is his chemistry with Joe Burrow.
Week after week, they're just bombing on people. just like they were in college.
Only now they're getting paid to do it in primetime, and the league still hasn't figured out how to stop it.
That was fun. Let's keep it going.
Chase's Triple Crown in 2024 wasn't a fluke. It was a wake-up call to the rest of the league that the Bengals may finally be firing on all cylinders for the first time since their Super Bowl run 4 years ago, which means that in 2025, everyone will be paying attention. Ja'Marr Chase will come into the season a marked man. Every quarterback will circle his number, and every coordinator will build their plan around stopping him. History says good luck with that, because while history also says a repeat is almost impossible, Ja'Marr Chase isn't playing by history's rules. We're not saying he's going to do it again. After all, no receiver in the modern era has ever gone back-to-back leading the league in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Not Kupp, not Smitty, not even Jerry Rice. But we're sure as hell not saying he can't repeat either, because Chase isn't walking into 2025 quietly. Joe Burrow is finally healthy. Ja'Marr and T. Higgins both got paid, and the trio closed out 2024 on a tear, winning their final 5 games and barely missing the playoffs after a horrendous start. In 2025, they're coming out swinging, meaning Chase will see more volume with more chances to burn opponents. And here's the catch. He doesn't need 15 targets to ruin your game plan. He needs one mistake, one route where your safety hesitates, one busted leverage call, and he's lighting up the board for 6. Repeating the Triple Crown isn't about perfection. It's about how you deal with the pressure, and Chase thrives in it. If anyone's going to beat him in 2025, they'll have to play perfectly, because Chase already knows how to dominate in chaos. The question now is, can he do it with a target on his back? Because the contenders are already lining up. We're building something special here, and if you're into this NFL deep dive kind of stuff, just tap subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Every king draws challengers, and after the season Ja'Marr Chase just had, the entire league is ready to take a shot. Justin Jefferson is healthy again, and even though the Vikings are rolling with a rookie quarterback in 2025, Jay Jetta's route running hasn't slipped at all. He's still the smoothest separator in football, and if the new JJ can settle in quickly, Jefferson could be right back near the top in targets, yards, and Sunday highlights. Tyreek Hill isn't slowing down either. As long as he and Tua stay healthy, the deep ball remains a weekly threat. Hill can still flip a game with one cut and leave entire secondaries chasing air. Then there's CeeDee Lamb, who's already posted a 1,700-yard season himself and now has a legit wide receiver 1 in George Pickens lining up beside him every week. Oh, and don't forget Detroit's playmaker Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy who never takes a play off and never drops a pass. For ASB, every target is a potential touchdown, which is why fantasy managers love to draft him and defensive coordinators hate prepping against him. But the truth is, none of them have what Chase has. Not the blend of power and precision, not the afterburners mixed with yak violence, and not the chemistry with a top 5 quarterback who trusts him with every game on the line.
Well, he's not only a great teammate, he's one of my best friends. We hang out all the time. I'm so fortunate to be able to play with this guy. He's one of the great all-time greats. He's going to continue to be good for years to come, and I'm very fortunate to be able to play with him every day.
The contenders are real, and the pressure in 2025 is going to be heavier than ever, but if Ja'Marr stays healthy, everyone else is still chasing him. By now, it's not just NFL defenses that fear Ja'Marr Chase, fantasy managers do too if they don't have him. In 2024, Chase not only finished as the top wide receiver in PPR formats, he was a weekly cheat code scoring 21 points per game. His 17 touchdowns were the most by any Triple Crown winner, and he was the only receiver to drop a 40-burger last season. In a nutshell, Ja'Marr Chase delivered everything: volume, efficiency, red zone targets, and explosive plays. He had the floor of a wide receiver 2 and the ceiling of a nuclear event. And in 2025, the fantasy world isn't even debating it. He's ADP 1, not just wide receiver 1, number 1 overall, period. Over Christian McCaffrey, over Bijan Robinson, over everyone. Because Chase doesn't need double-digit catches to win a weekly matchup. He can do it in 5. He can score twice on 6 targets, and when your playoffs are on the line, he shows up. He's matchup-proof, quarterback-proof, game script-proof. And if you're drafting in the first round this year, you're not choosing if you want Chase, you're just hoping you have the pick to get him. Ja'Marr Chase is also only 25 years old, so let that sink in. He's already won Offensive Rookie of the Year, already helped take the Bengals to a Super Bowl, and now he's fresh off one of the most dominant wide receiver seasons in NFL history. A Triple Crown nobody saw coming and nobody could stop. Chase is just now coming into his prime, which should scare the hell out of the rest of the league. What's even scarier is that he's not done evolving. The chemistry with Burrow is still peaking, the target share is climbing, and the spotlight is getting brighter, and Chase is running straight into it. We don't know if he'll repeat. We don't know if his body holds up. We don't even know if someone figures out how to stop him, but we do know this. If Jamar Chase keeps this up for 5 more years, we won't be debating who wide receiver 1 is. We'll be debating where he ranks all time. And if he manages to last in the league as long as Jerry Rice did, don't be shocked if we're having the old who was better debate about those two guys someday. In 2024, he led the league in every category that matters while turning defensive game plans into guesswork, and he made it seem like a warning, not a peak. And now, in 2025, Jamar Chase stands alone on the mountaintop. But standing there is never the hard part. Holding it is how legacies are built. So, let's hear it. Does Jamar Chase pull off the impossible and hold the crown for another year, or is someone finally ready to take it from him? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you want the real story behind every breakout, every letdown, and every Sunday that flips your fantasy season, you already know where to be. Like and subscribe to SnapCount so you can see it early, call it right, and stay ahead of the game with the most original stories in football.